You're watching the Red Zone Sports Show on Fox 5.
Straight ahead in the Red Zone, the running Rebels go duck hunting. UNLV puts the pedal to the metal and knocks off Oregon on the Las Vegas Strip. Head coach Dave Rice is in studio to break it all down. Plus, we look ahead to a crucial week of road games in Wichita and Riverside. What hurdles do the running Rebels face in their first true road games of the year? And we sit down with senior guard Ike Wamu to talk about why he chose UNLV and what he thinks this team is capable of. Santa's in the house. Are Nikes on your wish list? We know Running Rebel Talk is, and we're delivering the swoosh in the Red Zone right now.
This is the Fox 5 Red Zone Sports Show, presented by RC Willey. Your home, your way.
Good evening and welcome inside the Red Zone. Thanks for dropping in. Kevin Boyer alongside Running Rebels head coach Dave Rice in studio for the first time this year. Welcome.
Thank you. It must mean things are in full swing now to be back.
Full swing and things going well so far. A great trip to Maui and a good week this week as well.
Excited about the progress of our team. Long way to go, but we're doing well and the guys are playing hard.
Well, only one game this week. It was against Oregon, the Pac-12, and the Rebels were on the Strip, and UNLV making a statement early and often in this one. With the rodeo in town, the MGM Grand Garden Arena turned into a sea of red as UNLV took on 15th ranked and unbeaten Oregon out of the Pac-12. UNLV started raining threes early. Patrick McCaw got things going. Then Ike Wamu knocked down two in a row as it was clear he was feeling it, and the Rebels jumped out to a 9-2 lead. Steven Zimmerman was a beast inside for the Rebs, backing his man down here for the hook shot. And the feed down low to Ben Carter for the lay-in as Carter gets on the board against his former team. He wasn't done. Carter driving and the spin move for the finger roll. Midway through the first, UNLV went on a 12-3 run. Wamu with the drive for the lay-in, and he followed with a triple. Jerome Seegers dials long distance to follow that up, and the run capped by Zim, feeding Dwayne Morgan for the slam. Jalen Poyser had some quality minutes in the first half. The three ball and the drive for the lay-in. The Rebel defense in the first half was outstanding. The block by Zim starts transition as the Rebs run. McCaw finishes it off on the other end with the lay-in. Then the big man working inside for the bucket, and the half capped by Seegers to the lane for the hoop and the harm. The three-point play, part of a stellar first 20 minutes. 48% from the field, 8 of 16 from three-point range, and holding Oregon to 32% shooting as UNLV went into the locker room with a 47-33 lead. UNLV picked things right up early in the second. Seegers dropped a three, and then McCaw drove for a lay-in 50 seconds in to open a 19-point lead. But that was the final Rebel field goal for the next 10 minutes, 20 seconds. As UNLV went ice cold and Oregon got back in it, thanks to Dwayne Benjamin, who was knocking down everything from outside and driving inside. UNLV was able to keep Oregon at bay thanks to solid free throw shooting, 18 of 21 for the game. Zimmerman ended the drought with this jumper at the 8:44 mark. Then McCaw gets the steal and he heads the other way for the lay-in. That would reignite the crowd and pick up the energy level as the Rebels had a 65-54 lead. Oregon made one final run and they cut it to 5 on this Benjamin three with 4:48 left. But UNLV put the Ducks away. Carter feeds Zim and he gets the bucket and the foul. The big man with the inside move for two more. And the dagger provided by Wamu, who knocks down a triple to seal it up. He had 19. Zim had 12 points and 12 rebounds. Part of 5 Rebels in double figures as UNLV picks up a solid win against a good Oregon team, 80-69.
We really wanted to come out and be aggressive. So once the opportunity came, because we got a lot of great offense with attacking, once the opportunity came, we just took it because we've been working on our game. So it's just a product of hard work, really.
Definitely had a little bit more incentive, playing against my old team, my old coaching staff. But it was looking ahead from, the week before this game. I told everyone it's just a great opportunity for us to play against a ranked team and a great team at that. And our team responded today, and the win is special for me, but also special for this team.
The Rebels have played good basketball this season, but would you say that first 20 minutes against Oregon is the best stretch of basketball that they've played?
We played very well, no doubt, in that first half, and we needed to against a very well-coached, very good team in Oregon, number 15 in the country and well-deserving of the ranking.
The defense seemed to kind of confuse and take Oregon out of things early, and that really triggered everything on both ends of the floor for UNLV.
One of the things all season long, we've been good starting games. We've had great energy to start games. We've shared the ball. Our spacing has been good, and we played really well in first halves.
The lull in the second half, a little over 10 minutes without a bucket, and you had a big lead going into halftime, and it seemed that things kind of slowed down pace-wise. That's a tough decision for a coach as to whether to keep the pace that got you to where you are or to kind of control the tempo a little more.
Well, we never want to sacrifice shot selection or making turnovers for playing fast, but we also want to continue to force tempo. We want to always play on attack, and I thought it was good experience for us to go through. It was difficult as we were going through it, but to go 10 minutes without a field goal and to still have a lead. And I thought what really changed the game was we continued to attack, got to the free throw line. We were 18 for 21 from the free throw line in the game. But I think it's a credit to our guys to hang in there and to beat a good team like Oregon, even going through that kind of a drought.
That free throw shooting was solid, and there have been people, myself included, that have been a little bit critical of the free throw shooting, the inconsistency of it. But it just goes to show when you got getting to the line and making free throws, total game changer.
The one thing we've done all season long is we've gotten to the free throw line. We've attacked. For the most part, we've played inside out. We just need to go to the line and make free throws. 18 for 21 in the game was certainly one of the differences in helping us secure that victory. Ben Carter kind of downplayed the week a little bit in terms of playing Oregon and his former team and former coaches. But it did mean something to him. You could tell it did. And he came out and did what he does, kind of the glue that keeps this team together on the floor. Well, when you talk about a glue guy, sometimes you just think about him being a role player. He's so much more than that. He's an all-conference caliber player, but he is a glue guy. And along with Jerome Seagears, he brings great leadership to this team.
We haven't had a chance to sit down and talk with you since the Goodluck Okanobo decision to leave UNLV. What went into that? Were you surprised, and how does this impact this team moving forward this season?
Well, I think the first part is I am grateful to Goodluck for the time that he spent here. He helped us certainly build a foundation last year. He had a very good freshman year. He helped us certainly start the season 5-1, come back from Maui. He played 8 great minutes against Indiana and helped us win that game, and we wish him the best. And we'll help him any way we can. He's going to finish up this semester academically and move on, and we'll just always be appreciative of what he meant to our program.
This is where the depth plays out again, where maybe last year it could have hurt a little bit more. This year you at least have guys next man up, and you've got quality people ready to step up.
Well, one of the many strengths of our team is our depth, and certainly it helps with the way we're trying to play in terms of the press and the trapping and certainly pushing the tempo on offense, but at the same time it's difficult sometimes as well because I can only play 5 guys at a time. I can only start 5 guys. And as long as we all buy into what we're doing and understand that depth is a strength of our team, we're going to continue to make progress and be a good basketball team.
And it is nice for you when you don't see something you like. You now have the luxury of taking a player off the floor and replacing him with something else. That's something that you really didn't have the luxury of last year when we saw some stretches from a couple of players where maybe, as fans noticed, weren't giving maybe a full effort on both ends of the floor. Now you can just say, hey, you're going to give effort or you're on the bench.
Well, with depth comes accountability, and that's an important aspect of what we're trying to do. And having said that, I want guys to play with freedom. I want to play with confidence. I want them to play on attack. And so I'm going to sub when guys are tired or when maybe someone else needs an opportunity or certainly when there's a lack of effort. But for the most part this year, with the exception of a couple first halves, maybe Prairie View A&M and Chaminade first half, we've played hard in every possession. I'm very proud of this group.
It's been a lot of fun to watch, and we are just getting started talking about it here in the Red Zone. Up next, we're going to look ahead to this week's games, 2 roadies, including a trip to Wichita to take on a team that has seen a lot of success and is always tough at home. We're back in just 2 minutes. Stick and stay.
You're watching the Fox 5 Red Zone Sports Show, presented by R.C. Willey. Your home, your way.
This week, the Rebels hit the road for their first games in opposing teams' gyms and a chance to pick up their first true road wins. But it's not going to be easy in either Wichita or Riverside. Wednesday night, UNLV travels to Kansas to take on Wichita State. It has been a rough start to the season for the Shockers, a preseason top 10 team and a trendy pick to get back to the Final Four. Wichita has been hobbled by injuries to key players, and they come into the game against UNLV with a sub-500 record. Star point guard Fred VanVleet has been dealing with a hamstring injury, but is expected to be in uniform and playing against the Rebels. But other injuries have the Shockers thin, especially in the backcourt, which will be tested by UNLV's constant pressure. The wild card is sharpshooting Kansas transfer Connor Frankamp, who isn't eligible to play until his semester grades post. That wasn't supposed to be until after the UNLV game. But now there's hope in Wichita that it might be done by Wednesday night, and Frankamp will be in uniform for the Shockers, which changes the complexion of this game. Wichita is desperate, in need of a signature win in the non-conference to turn things around, and this game is seen as the most crucial for them before conference play begins, which means you can expect a top-notch effort and a hyped-up atmosphere in the sold-out Coke Arena, which should be buzzing. For the Rebels, it's an opportunity for a resume-building win on the road in a tough place to play. Come away with a W here to add on to wins against Indiana and Oregon, and the RPI and Ken Pom ratings shoot up. The tough travel continues as UNLV has to turn around and play Saturday afternoon in Southern California against UC Riverside. The Highlanders aren't a team that you can sleep on. Experienced and much improved, and a team that could do some damage in the Big West. They were actually picked to finish higher than Cal Poly, a team UNLV beat by 2 points in the season opener. Riverside is led by Taylor Johns and Jalen Bland, and they may choose to run with UNLV a little bit. Whether they can keep up for 40 minutes remains to be seen. This is a spot where the Rebels can't afford to take this team lightly, and they'll need to come in with the hungry attitude on both sides of the floor that we've seen this season.
We know Wichita has big game experience. They have sharpshooters. What's the key as you prepare to try and slow this team down?
Handling the atmosphere. We were there a few years ago. It's a tough place to play, and it becomes an even tougher place to play because of how good Ron Baker is and VanVleet. They've got very good players. They've got Final Four experience, and it'll be a huge challenge for us traveling this week.
The Frankamp situation is still kind of up in the air. How does that handle preparation for this, not knowing whether he is going to be in the lineup or not, because it does make a difference?
Yeah, I think when you're the visiting team, you just prepare for every scenario, and that's what we need to do. And again, it's always about us with a scouting report about the other team, but we know the challenge of playing against Wichita State. They're a fantastic team.
This is an important game when you look at RPI building a solid road win against a team, when it comes down to it, is going to likely be a tournament team. They're going to probably win their conference. Yeah. So this is a really chance for the Rebels to get another signature win.
Well, another opportunity for us to play against a marquee team. We certainly played UCLA, we've played Indiana, we've played Oregon, we've got more on our schedule, and it's a difficult week. We've got final exams this week, we've got travel, we're out of our building with National Finalist Rodeo being in the Thomas & Mack Center, so a challenging week for us, no doubt.
And I know looking ahead, 2 games ahead, you don't like really to do that, but when you look at Riverside, that's a quick turnaround where you have to turn around and go back to Southern California on Friday for a Saturday afternoon. It's what the media likes to call a trap game, especially with 2 Pac-12 teams on the schedule the following week.
Obviously our focus is Wichita State, but because we've got the show, we need to talk about the next game. And the reason we scheduled the Riverside game is because we try to schedule a game that's fairly close to home coming out of final exams. And so we did that with Southern Utah a couple years ago. We were doing it with Riverside. Opportunity for our fans to travel to a place that's not too far away. Other thing we don't like to do coming out of final exams is to schedule a road game and too far from home. Gives us an opportunity to get through final exams and then get ready to play again.
And UC Riverside is a team in the Big West, which is actually a very good basketball conference that is going to beat some good teams this year. They are a solid basketball team.
UC Riverside is off to a very, very good start. They have good players. Taylor Johns and Bland are both good players. They've got excellent shooters. It'll be a tough place to play. It'll be a great home court environment for them, but we're excited about the fact we think we've got a lot of people traveling from Las Vegas. And again, one of the reasons we do it, just like we did a couple years ago with Southern Utah, is it gives an opportunity for people to get in their cars and take their families down and have a great Saturday afternoon watching the Rebels play.
We're looking forward to it. That one is a 4 o'clock tip down at UC Riverside. Straight ahead, we're going to sit down with one of the newest Rebels who has had an immediate impact. What led Ike Wamu to pick UNLV as the place to end his college career, and what's his hidden talent off the court? He tells us and shows us as the Red Zone rolls on.
This hair-raising play of the week is brought to you by Vegas Valley Hair.
UNLV playing big on both ends of the floor. Steven Zimmerman with the block. That starts the break, and Patrick McCaw finishes on the other end. The rejection leading to rejoice. It's Runnin' Rebel basketball, and it's the hair-raising play of the week.
You're watching the Fox 5 Reb Zone Sports Show, presented by R.C. Willey. Your home, your way.
The Rebels have some senior leadership in the backcourt this season with transfers Jerome Seegers and Ike Wamu. For Wamu, coming to UNLV is a chance to get back to the NCAA tournament one last time, where he's seen magic happen before.
Ike Wamu brings a big game reputation to UNLV. The senior guard transferred to the Runnin' Rebels after a stellar career at Mercer and helped his team knock off Duke in the 2014 NCAA tournament. Now he brings his experience to solidify a UNLV roster poised for big things.
We're a really talented group. We play really hard. As long as we execute on both ends, like, the sky's the limit, really. So we played pretty well in Maui, and it's a really good start because it's still pretty early, but we definitely have a good foundation.
Under the NCAA transfer rules, Wamu could play his senior season anywhere after graduating with a year of eligibility left. He said the relationship built with assistant Todd Simon and the rest of the staff made choosing UNLV a no-brainer, and he's loving life in Las Vegas.
It's just everything I could have imagined. I'm really enjoying myself here, and I'm glad I made the choice to come here.
Wamu knew about the rich tradition at UNLV, but forgot about the fireworks until the first game.
When the fireworks first went off, I ducked my head, but yeah, it's crazy. It's definitely a big difference in my last school, and it's definitely one of the best atmospheres in the country.
Fans have seen his skills on the court, but Wamu has another skill.
The very first time that I saw your brown eyes.
Actually sang in chamber singers in high school, so I'd say that's the most singing I've done, but otherwise I just sing for fun.
The song he'd love to sing to close out his college career, One Shining Moment. And Wamu is ready to do whatever it takes during games, at practice, and off the court to push the Runnin' Rebels as far as they can go.
I played a lot of basketball, so really I just try to pass along as much information to the younger guys as much as possible, because once everybody's on the same page with what it takes to win, then we can really do special things.
You need guys like Ike Wamu on a basketball team to be successful.
Absolutely. He brings great maturity. He's a leader on our team, and he brings experience. And he's a very thoughtful young man who's pursuing a graduate degree, and we're excited to have him.
We're going to hear more from a lot of the Runnin' Rebel players, the newcomers, if you will, this year throughout the season here on the Reb Zone. But right now we're going to take one final break, and we're back with some final thoughts and the plays of the week. Stay with us.
You're watching the Fox 5 Reb Zone Sports Show, presented by R.C. Willey. Your home, your way.
At this point in the season, Rebels have played two ranked teams. 80 minutes of basketball, have never trailed to those ranked teams. Big game players show up for big games, and a big game on Wednesday night.
Absolutely. Huge game against Wichita State. Tremendous respect for Greg Marshall and his program and what that means. Happy with the progress of our group. A long way to go, and the thing that gives me a lot of optimism and confidence with our group, they come to practice every day, they work hard, they like each other, and we're going to continue to get better.
How do you make sure that this team doesn't get ahead of itself too far? They have had some success, different style of basketball. Once we get into conference play, maybe a little bit more physical than we've seen with some of these preseason games, but that they don't get so excited that you keep them level-headed.
Well, great leadership on the team. Ike, Ben Carter, Jerome Seegers, Pat McCaw, and others. And that's the coaching staff job as well, just to make sure. That's where accountability comes into play. Depth is an important factor. We'll continue to play hard. We'll continue to play together. And when we don't do that, we'll figure it out and do better.
Traveling on Tuesday, we will be traveling along with the team. We'll have a preview of this game on Tuesday night on Fox 5 News at 10 and 11, plus highlights live from Wichita. at 10 and 11, which would be, I guess, midnight and 1 in the morning. We're burning the midnight oil for you with everything from Wichita on Wednesday night as well. For Coach Rice, I'm Kevin Bollinger. Thanks for joining us in the Red Zone. Here's the plays of the week. Good night.
The Fox 5 Red Zone Sports Show was presented by RC Willey, your home, your